Welcome back to Data Center News Asia. James, it's a shame that we're having to re-record this because that joke you made earlier, what a
a very rare second take. Rhys screwed up the audio earlier, so we're doing it again. Earlier on, I didn't have the coffee stain on my shirt, but anyway, we won't dwell on that too much. What are we talking about?
It's not my coffee. Yes, we've got a few stories this week. I think we are going with, first up, we've got a capital raise from NEXTDC for a few new data centers. AIMS data centers in Malaysia. They are building a couple of new sites. We've got some financial updates from DigitalBridge, and Macquarie are backing a new data center operator in Indonesia.
Yeah, great. So NEXTDC.
Yes, NEXTDC. So this is the two new sites off the back of the successful numbers or the good sales they've had from S3, and this is all sort of tied together, and they're asking for some more money from I guess Wall Street, Australian Wall Street.
Yes. So NEXTDC disclosed to the ASX 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months, and that they had secured a big order or a big anchor client for S3, 36 megawatts or 35.9, I should say. So S3, which myself and Rhys actually visited not so long ago, yet they need some of the capital, the $618 million to fit that out and get that ready for this big cloud customer who they've secured. Also mentioned, as you mentioned, there are two sites internationally. So the first one, just to mention, is in Auckland, $140 million development, AK1. And that's going to have an initial fit out of 1.7 megawatts. And then the second one, KL in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, KL1, the first stage is going to be 7.5 megawatts.
Yes, that $140 million, that is going to go towards the full 10 to 15 megawatt size for Auckland, I guess, not just the 1.7.
Yes, correct.
And yeah, you said the KL1, did we get a fix on the location for that one earlier? I know we were discussing there was some varied reporting on the size as well, up to 65 megawatts in the one press release we saw.
Yeah, we do have the location on DC Byte. The press release was slightly inconsistent because I think it said up to 65 megawatts, but then the figure attached to the development was $250 million. So I'm guessing it's phases, or they've got maybe the initial development is going to be, I don't know, let's say 20 megawatts based on that number. And then they've got a plot of land next to it or something like that, which may be able to support an additional development, or maybe several plots of land, who knows. That would get to that 65 number because, like I said, that 65 megawatts and that $250 million number are slightly out of sync. But they are starting construction of that next year, apparently, with the aim to have it delivered by 2026.
Excellent. So congratulations to NEXTDC on their sales numbers in Australia. And I did fact check. So this scale one is on the NEXTDC map. They've listed Japan and Auckland as in pro. The KL one is the furthest ahead. So this is going to be their first welcome to Asia for NEXTDC.
Yes. Congrats to everyone involved there, Alex, Craig, the whole team.
I actually do also there's a picture of Craig where the article's standing on a log, so I'll be including that on the video. Don't worry.
Good stuff. While we're on Malaysia, AIMS.
Yes, two construction projects going on from them. So they are building Block 2 next to Block 1 out in the Cyberjaya. They said that they sold 90% of Block 1 already, so that's driving the builds. And the other one is the refit, and this is the downtown. Did we just work out whether this was the Time.com tower building or
no? It's different, separate.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So the AIMS Cyberjaya Block 2 development. I was down there about a month ago actually, and it looked like they were already. It was cranes, construction guys around. It looked like they were doing the groundwork at that stage, but now actual building seems to have commenced. It's going to be adding 8 megawatts to that, and it's going to be live. I think by the end. I've got 2023 here, but that looks wrong. But it's going to be, I would guess, 9 months, and maybe the end of 2023. The additional site Rhys mentioned, more centrally located in KL, Banganan KWSP building. So this is going to support that Time.com building you mentioned. And this is going to be 5 megawatts. Initially stated to be completed this month. I know it's close to being finished. I'm not sure exactly how close, but I think it's pretty imminent, that development.
So is that a bit? That was an existing data center, not a huge refit then for it to be done so quickly, or?
Good question, which I did not check. It's a brownfield development anyway.
So, well, we didn't mention, but Ames DC is of course now a DigitalBridge company, and that was onto our next item that I want to discuss. So DigitalBridge have announced their Q1 2023 numbers this week. They've some really good sales numbers. Not, I think, what the street was expecting, because they are the share price is down again, so it brings it down for a pretty hefty 59% year-on-year drop in the share price. And as we sort of discussed, that is one of the things with a company like DigitalBridge, where they're acquiring assets all over the globe. One of the other stories they were in the news for this week was a $300 million partnership with CAI on climate-based investments to bring their portfolio to net zero. So it's always hard to gauge with a fund like this where they're going to go, because there's so many investments going on. But my attention was kind of drawn to those pretty healthy sales numbers, and it's something like 35% year on year up.
Yeah, well, like generally the markets the last couple of years obviously are performing pretty poorly. But DigitalBridge, they're investing in infrastructure of the future, a bit of a cliche, but it's true. And I've got some great assets, certainly in the data center space, what we cover all over the world. So I've been focusing more on the revenue number, and if you're looking at that share price, maybe it's a buy. Maybe it's a buy now.
Yeah, well, I'll put a not financial advice sticker on there, but if you are taking financial advice from myself and James, probably seek counselling or some other sort of advice to go along with that. Yeah. But yeah, big news updates from DigitalBridge, big player in the game. And this other story that we were looking at, so this is we've actually talked about this company before. It's called Bersama Digital Infrastructure Asia. And when we talked about them, I think last year when they launched the platform, we didn't really have much to say. It was a mysterious consortium from Macquarie Asset Management, Provident Capital, and Saratoga. But they now have some assets in Indonesia.
Yeah, so they've, I think they've kind of officially launched the new platform, which is Bersama Digital Data Center. If you go onto their website, they've got two assets there. One, which is One Atria DC, previously a Space DC, which is their smaller facility. And then they have an additional facility, which I didn't actually click on the specifics, but they mentioned they've got 60 megawatts of IT load between the two. So I think that second one must be in the kind of the 50 megawatt plus range. That's a central Jakarta site. I actually saw the designs for that site quite a while ago. Looks like a very impressive site. They're down at the W Media event in Jakarta this week, and I think our analysts met with them. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll probably be able to provide a bit more information on their plans and what they're planning on doing. But yeah, interesting development, and I think they're in a position to do well down in Jakarta.
Nice to see some data centers that aren't named JK1, JK2, Propco 1 Atria, and Rumor Data Kita. I'm not sure if there's a translation to that. Hopefully the translation isn't JK1 and JK2.
I didn't actually pick up on that. I didn't go to the naming convention in this particular case, but it'd be interesting to see. I thought they had names attached to them, but not those.
Yeah, the Rumor Data Kita. Maybe I'm looking at that. Maybe that's the location they put out. The Atria one is called Propco 1 Atria, apparently.
I thought I saw JRT1 and something else.
Oh well, in that case, it's back to the usual for Jakarta then.
But
still, congratulations. That's good deals to be done, and
put something on the screen there so that it's kind of correcting that, because it's no way they're going to mark with those names. Anyway, one other piece, the Knight Frank report, which this month is covering 9 key markets, this quarter I should say, it's covering 9 key markets across the region. We've got Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo, Bangkok, KL, Seoul, and Mumbai. I've got it in one.
All the big ones.
Yeah, well, most of the big ones, most of the established markets, and then some of the markets like Seoul and Bangkok, Mumbai, etc., which have seen huge growth in the last couple of quarters and years. That is now out. The full report. We're going to put the link down below, right?
I normally dig it up from somewhere. I'm sure by now, either your
It is out. When we recorded this earlier, it wasn't out, but it is out now. So yeah, we'll put that there. It's well worth a read. If there's any more information you require on those markets covered, or actually any market across APAC, do drop me a message and we can discuss in more detail.
Great pitch deck material, always in the DC Byte Night Frank reports. Recommend it to anyone.
Good stuff.
We didn't. Are we still wishing happy birthday to Rich Farrell? He's been dragging on the birthday celebrations. I believe he's meeting up with some industry folks.
Is it actually his birthday today?
No, I think his birthday was a while ago. But you know what happens as you get further up in the years, you tend to make a bigger deal out of it.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday to long-time listener Rich.
It's occasional time host.
He has hosted, yes, twice maybe.
Yes, twice.
Never with me, but he has hosted.
Right, so next week you're not going to be here. You're going to be in India.
India next week. Delhi Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday morning. Then flight to Chennai for site visits, couple of customer meetings, that sort of thing. W Media event is on the Friday actually in Chennai next week. So look forward to that. Anyone based in Delhi or Chennai watching who is keen to catch up, particularly those based in Chennai because Delhi's very slammed. Drop me a PM, especially if you're going to the W Media event, because I think a lot of people are going there and it'll be a chance to catch up with myself and the analyst. No coffee, so maybe a clear drink would be good. Yeah. Just watch out. I have been spilling coffee on myself quite a lot recently, including today. So I'll be drinking water.
A dark jacket could be a good option.
Dark jacket and water.
Happy Friday, folks.
Cheers, everyone.